Now you're clear.
All right, welcome to the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Board meeting on Monday, January 12th, 2026, if you can believe it, at 4 o'clock here in the main meeting room. This meeting will be held in a hybrid fashion with the opportunity to vote in-person attendance and vote participation. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated. Technological problems interrupted the broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be held in person in the main meeting room of the Deerfield Municipal Offices in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A. Anyone intending to record the meeting must identify themselves to the clerk and provide their name and address for the record. Thank you. First agenda item is the minutes. This was mailed out or emailed to us on December 10th. Does anyone have any additions or corrections? All right, hearing none. Do I have a motion to accept them?
Make a motion to accept the meetings as
Thank you, Tim and Pete. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, that's unanimous. Next item on the agenda is the Energy Conservation Committee grant feedback on battery storage for the town building. Is that?
Well, we did a little research on this, and we're not really sold on this idea in terms of the cost benefit of it. It can be very expensive. Doing research into the AMP grant itself, it looks like it's for municipal or school buildings that are potentially looking to replace a backup generator that's potentially failing. The cost is pretty extensive, so I'm not sure if it's worth it at this point in time. Do you want to
say to me on this?
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's a little cart before the horse. If there were solar available to pay for it, and we had already decided on a place that was going to be a place.
Yeah, I mean,
The restroom, but not.
yeah, like a shelter or yeah.
We haven't decided any of that at this point, so, and also the deadline is like dates, not months away. So we pretty much.
It's one of those things where you can create an island for a battery energy storage system where it's not relying on solar. That's less expensive. It's still tied to grid. The problem with that is that when the power fails, it works, but for how long? Once it runs out, it's not being charged by the solar, not tied to your solar, so it's not charged. And so there's a problem with that.
I think there's pretty much consensus that we skip over this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on.
I think that we don't have a place that's designated as a shelter, but as we think about that, I think we ought to think about solar and battery storage. And I think we shouldn't forget that concept. Actually, the DPH has designated Frontier as our shelter. We don't have any choice in that. Oh, okay.
Do they have
Years ago.
Do they have a
No.
No, I'm just asking. Some do, some don't.
Well, I think there was some, I know there was discussion years ago, but I don't know what happened in the last couple of years, to tell you the truth.
Right.
It's something real. Is Frontier the shelter for all 4 towns or just for Deerfield? It can be for all 4 towns, but it is specifically for Deerfield, and we had argued that we don't control that building. Right. We'd rather have, DES be our shelter because we have total control of the DES. And that discussion is going on. So, but it doesn't matter because you set up a shelter where you feel that you do, and then you move on. The state is not. Yeah, so let's check this out.
Well, the other thing that could happen
you don't have backup generators, chances are DPW might have one. I know this
There's
isn't.
portable ones,
So they'll come with a truck and.
Homeland Security has those good things, you just have to get on the form quick
Right.
and ask for it, because they only have a couple.
Yeah.
But we can get that from our assets over at the jail. Okay, moving on, MVP 2.0 grant and the FY 25 action grant. You attended the webinar, Greg, could you give us some update, you and Alex?
Yeah, I mean, there was an emphasis on the environmental justice part. They have a new program that maps out the state in terms of which towns are designated as points of interest for environmental justice. And I'm sure it's based on income levels and demographics. Deerfield's not in, it's not one of those designated towns. I think, Alex maybe can speak to this a little bit more. My first impression from where my experience is that, okay, are they trying to potentially get towns that maybe are behind the curve in terms of their MVP up to speed? And that's one way of doing it, would be to add priority to those vulnerable areas. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like they have a new program that's mapped out and they're excited to use it. And so that's become part of the criteria, which I think is always part of the criteria, but they spent a fair amount of time. As far as what we're going in for, I think we're pretty solid in terms of our application. So just have to look at, what the EJ part of that is. How it's going to impact.
What we can do is we have manually mapped elder population with income. And so we have a subset that is environmental justice qualifying. So we have to just shade it in on the. There you mentioned. Oh, really? That's how we've got. That's how we've got around it.
Yeah, they did like very specifically point out this is a new GIS tool, that it's current criteria, this is the only thing they're using, and they're not taking supplementary for that, even if you have more localized data, which is, they were ready for that. I'll just say.
They are ready for us.
Right, but it's only a piece of like the grant scoring, it's not the entirety of it, right? So like even in Michigan, we set up a whole grant program with ARPA funding and had a whole EJ criteria, and we ended up using Alice data, so it's a little different, but essentially it's only a piece of like 100 points, maybe only worth 15 or 20, there's still 80, 85 points to go for, so it doesn't mean that we're out of the running. It has a higher emphasis, this form, so, I don't know, we still know where the rest are at, so we just throw it in and let it ride and see what happens.
And we just have to be sharper. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. Is there anything, and you said, Greg, that they haven't actually have a date for the application.
Yeah, they send out an email in terms of the portal is open. The main thing is, do we have an account? I haven't gotten into to see if we actually have accounts set up already for them. But I don't know who's email account is on this. I'll check.
Okay, yeah.
This is
Be organized. Okay, thank you, Greg. Thank you, Al. I love your input. Okay, we're down to other business already. I just want to mention that, the update that I have from the PL 566 and emergency watershed opportunities. I was at the state commission meeting, I was leaders from Germany on Thursday. I was able to touch base with Dan Wright, the NRCS state conservationist, for a second, and the first batch of signups is going through the state. They've been funded through September 30th, and the PL 566 program will remain open, and the sponsors will be based on available funding, which is depressing, because the funding has been reduced from, like I said, 900 million-ish to 43 million nationwide, but the Northeast is supportive of $1 million to finish projects for that, a couple million for the Cape, and our 2 or 3 million is fully in land. So to do the next phase 2. So we're gonna still keep trying to check off boxes and work with FCS and hopefully fill the gap with MVP funding on this grant and keep moving ahead, so we're not gonna lose, you know, our timeline. Timeline is still basically the same, 3 to 5 years to get this done, but it will be such funding. But USDA, even though there's a potential government shutdown on June 30th, USDA funding has been provided through September 1st. So we don't really know that what's going to happen 100%, but hopefully the USDA office is going to see it, and we can work with Fiona Davis this year. We'll continue working offline with him to make sure that we're moving ahead a little bit, step at a time, baby step at a time. I wish I could report more information, but that's all I got. All right, this is really quick, but we have the next meeting is,
I do have one
oh,
other business. And just as a question, you had sent out, a note from, Lily Wallace at DOT as the LEAP program from the net. Do you want to talk about that?
The Culver, yeah, you know what, I think you're probably more up on that. I just, you know, I go on all the.
Alex, you're gonna be, what's the body?
Well, I don't know what that email context is, but all that I remember, Matthew is saying that he's applying for a LEAP grant, which is essentially updating our culvert assessment project effort bid. So we have that 21 data, but obviously we've had a lot of things happen since 2021, and so, you know, gonna revamp all the photos, some more data, and, yeah.
Alex, this would be townwide, right?
Yep, yeah,
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah,
My understanding too is that it's money that's already there.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't think there was a cost share, and Matthew was gonna run it kind of out of the DPW shop and just kind of,
So
you know, when we have GI stuff.
That's fabulous
That's gonna be
information,
so-
because, we've had all the repairs from 2023.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of stuff is.
A little outdated, when we looked at that.
In Matt's note, it says here, good news is the Mass DOT grant that will cover the engineering of replacement plan of our culverts and stormwater systems. We have an active study done by Frog in 2022.
Yeah, that was pretty expensive. I remember when they started that, but that was reason why. Because I don't think they're gonna go.
He said that Mass DOT is hired from a consulting firm and I'm scheduling initial meeting.
I think,
Yeah, that's bringing up an issue, so I don't know. I don't know anything about
And I
it.
reminded him, I think he's an active this year member of our group, so.
yes, but you know what? Great news. And
Yeah.
we love to have the plan updated.
He was here at 5 PM. So.
Yeah.
We,
I was.
so we have January 27th at 4:30 here. It's going to be the presentation, as far as we know, from GZA and Field Geology for the final project. Review.
Yeah, and I have a meeting with them on Wednesday just to go over the story map we're doing. So we finally have our Esri software up and running, so it kind of actually has an account. And we can actually use a lot of the data that we're getting.
Oh, perfect. So that's very exciting. Yeah.
So just to make sure, this January 27th, it's been around for a while.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, it was posted back like actually November, which is.
Yeah, I forgot.
At this point.
It gets cousin.
Yeah, I mean, I'll reach out to Rosalie, you know, by tomorrow, just check to see if she needs help, what, you know, what kind of life aspects are needed, We didn't do any extra planning.
I don't know, but it's supposed to be cooking dinner for somebody who's got games or so. I just like to not have a meeting, well, I don't have to be here.
We may not need it, but we'll see where
Okay,
what she said.
what we wanna do is make sure if she is ready to go forward with that date,
Yeah, it's her in there, so.
then we need to, advertise it, and make sure it's out there. But if they need to postpone, we need to get out there a new date, so that, people can attend, because there's a lot of interest.
Do you expect any revise for the final report that's going to be anything different? You're gonna get that beforehand, but
I'll ask her. I do that.
It would be nice so that we could prepare some questions, if we have questions, I think that's a great point, because, there's a lot of balls in the air on this, with different grants and different opportunities, and I wanna make sure we're really clear. And we would like to make sure that Matthew is, from DPW and John Short, as an emergency watershed person, emergency, response person, to be here for sure,
Okay.
so that they can then ask questions.
Okay, more to come on that. I will, reach out to her tomorrow, find out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think, I haven't heard, that they were on the telephone, I think they moved forward with that thing. So they were.
So-
About to agree, and, so I anticipated that it would go.
okay. Sorry about that, we had set that date.
Oh, that's fine, and I just came in, so I just had to figure it out.
Okay, I think it is important that we do set another date for February, because I wanna make sure the committee has input, like Pete and MA and everybody else has input on what we're submitting,
Oh, yeah.
our
for
next
sure.
round.
Yeah.
So,
Do that.
looking at the week of the 9th, February 9th, Mondays are no good, because I'm sure that's by the finance. And is that Wednesday, an off Wednesday, or Thursday? Can we do a Thursday?
Yeah, the 11th it is. I can do, I can do earlier, I know I've got a regional vision meeting at 6:30 in the evening on the 11th, but I could do either 4 or 4:30.
Why is Wednesday better for yours?
Oh, no, I was just thinking
That's
of
the 11th.
no, Thursday. Is there-
Oh, Thursday, instead of.
What about
Thursday? So.
How about the 10th? How about the 10th?
But if we did 4 o'clock, I think, because that gives me enough time.
All right, let's
Yeah.
just do 4
As long as
o'clock.
it's a little earlier, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good, I'm just.
How about 4 p.m.? Well,
we call them.
is that,
That works.
okay, does everyone?
The call?
12 at 4 o'clock.
Great, okay.
And it's really just, the main agenda item is going to be our submission. Review of our submission to the, MVP next round.
Yeah, they haven't given a deadline, so if for some reason, I don't expect it for that, but if.
Well, it's pretty straightforward what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So, I think, but I just want the committee to be,
I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
yes,
I'll make that motion.
all right. That was a record. I think this is the shortest one I've ever had.
We've almost- 20 minutes.
Aye.